At first glance, Saturn looks calm and majestic. Its enormous rings shine like a cosmic crown, making it one of the most beautiful objects in our solar system. Through telescopes, it appears almost peaceful, a silent giant drifting through the darkness of space. But that calm appearance is deeply misleading. Behind the elegance lies one of the most violent and extreme worlds humans have ever studied. Saturn is not a quiet celestial ornament. It is a colossal storm machine, a massive sphere of hydrogen and helium spinning so rapidly that it actually changes its own shape. Instead of being perfectly round, the planet bulges outward at the equator, flattening slightly at the poles because of its incredible rotation speed. Imagine a planet so huge that more than 760 Earths could fit inside it. Now imagine that this giant rotates so fast that a full day there lasts only about 10.5 hours. The result is chaos on a planetary scale. The atmosphere of Saturn is unlike anything we experience on Earth. Winds scream across the planet at speeds reaching over 1,800 kilometers per hour, faster than the most powerful hurricanes ever recorded on our world. These winds rip through enormous clouds made of ammonia, ice, hydrogen, and other exotic chemicals. Massive storm systems form and vanish, sometimes growing so large that they could swallow entire planets. But the storms are only the beginning. Deep inside Saturn lies a crushing world of unimaginable pressure. As you descend through the atmosphere, the gases grow thicker and heavier. Eventually, hydrogen, the lightest element in the universe, begins to behave in a completely different way. Under the immense pressure, it transforms into something strange and extraordinary: liquid metallic hydrogen. This bizarre substance doesn't behave like normal liquids. It conducts electricity like a metal and creates powerful magnetic fields around the planet. These magnetic forces trap radiation and charged particles, forming a gigantic and dangerous environment around Saturn. And yet, despite all of this violence, Saturn still holds one of the most mesmerizing features in our solar system: its rings. From afar, they look solid and smooth, but in reality, they are made of billions of pieces of ice and rock, ranging from tiny grains of dust to chunks as large as mountains. Each fragment travels around the planet at incredible speeds, locked in a delicate cosmic dance that has lasted for millions of years. The beauty of Saturn hides a brutal truth. This is not a place meant for life. It is a world of crushing pressure, raging storms, and alien physics. And strangely enough, things only get more extreme the deeper we explore. As scientists studied Saturn more closely, they discovered something that sounds almost like science fiction. Under the extreme conditions of the planet's atmosphere, ordinary chemical processes behave in extraordinary ways. Temperatures plunge far below freezing in the upper layers, while deeper down, the pressure becomes unimaginably intense. This strange environment may create one of the most spectacular phenomena in the solar system: rain made of diamonds. The process begins high in Saturn's atmosphere. There, powerful lightning storms rip through clouds rich in methane gas. When lightning strikes, it breaks methane molecules apart, releasing carbon. These carbon particles drift downward, carried by Saturn's violent winds and powerful gravity. As they sink deeper into the atmosphere, the pressure and temperature rise dramatically. The carbon particles begin to compress and transform. Scientists believe they first turn into graphite, the same material used in pencil lead. But the journey does not stop there. Deeper still, the pressure becomes so extreme that the graphite is forced to rearrange its atomic structure. Under these crushing conditions, it transforms into one of the hardest materials known in the universe, diamond. Imagine billions of tiny diamonds forming in the sky, slowly falling like glittering raindrops through Saturn's atmosphere. But the fall does not end quickly. The diamonds may continue sinking for thousands of kilometers toward the planet's interior. Some studies suggest they could grow larger as they descend, eventually becoming solid diamond chunks. In theory, some might even reach sizes comparable to stones used in jewelry, though far deeper and under far more violent conditions than anything on Earth. Yet even this incredible idea is only one part of Saturn's mystery. At the planet's north pole lies something even stranger, a gigantic geometric structure carved into the clouds themselves. When spacecraft first photographed it, scientists were stunned. Instead of a circular storm like those found on other planets, Saturn displays a perfect hexagon. This massive six-sided pattern stretches across the atmosphere for nearly 30,000 kilometers, large enough for several Earths to fit inside it. The structure has remained stable for decades, possibly much longer, spinning along with the planet like an enormous atmospheric engine. Inside this hexagon, powerful jet streams move at astonishing speeds, forming one of the most unusual weather systems ever observed. No one expected to find something so symmetrical and persistent in such a chaotic environment. Saturn, it seems, is not just a world of storms and pressure. It is a laboratory of cosmic extremes, a place where physics behaves in ways that challenge our understanding of planets. And yet, despite its violent nature, Saturn has something else that makes it one of the most intriguing destinations in the solar system. An entire family of mysterious moons. Some of them may even hide oceans beneath their frozen surfaces. While Saturn itself is a violent and inhospitable giant, the space around it holds some of the most intriguing places in the entire solar system. Orbiting this massive planet is a vast family of moons, more than 80 confirmed worlds, each with its own unique landscape and mysteries. Among them, one stands out more than any other: Titan. Titan is Saturn's largest moon and the second largest moon in the solar system. At first glance, it looks like a cold and distant world wrapped in a thick orange haze. For a long time, scientists could barely see its surface because the atmosphere surrounding Titan is incredibly dense, even thicker than Earth's. But when spacecraft finally managed to peer through that haze, they discovered something astonishing. Titan is the only place besides Earth where scientists have found stable lakes and rivers on the surface. Yet these are not made of water. The temperatures there are far too cold for that. Instead, Titan's rivers, seas, and rain are made of liquid methane and ethane, hydrocarbons that behave on Titan the same way water behaves on Earth. Imagine standing on a frozen shoreline beneath a dim orange sky, watching waves of liquid methane roll across a vast alien sea. Mountains rise from the icy crust. Rivers carve channels through the landscape. Clouds gather in the atmosphere and release methane rain that slowly reshapes the terrain over time. Titan has its own strange version of a weather cycle. One built not around water, but around liquid hydrocarbons. oceans. Even more fascinating is what may lie beneath Titan's frozen surface. Scientists believe that far below the icy crust, there could be a vast underground ocean of liquid water mixed with ammonia. Hidden oceans like this are considered some of the most promising places to search for extraterrestrial life. Protected from the harsh environment of space, such oceans might provide stable conditions where microscopic organisms could potentially survive. And Titan is not the only moon raising these exciting possibilities. Another smaller moon, Enceladus, has already revealed dramatic evidence of subsurface water. Massive geysers erupt from cracks in its icy crust, blasting plumes of water vapor and ice particles hundreds of kilometers into space. When spacecraft flew through these plumes, they detected organic molecules, the building blocks of life. These discoveries transformed Saturn from a distant gas giant into something much more fascinating, a gateway to hidden oceans and potentially habitable worlds. In many ways, Saturn represents the perfect reminder that the solar system is far more complex and mysterious than we once imagined. What appears at first to be a cold and lifeless giant may actually be surrounded by environments where the ingredients for life are quietly waiting beneath layers of ice. And somewhere in those dark oceans, far from the warmth of the sun, entirely new forms of life might one day be discovered. Saturn is often imagined as a planet with a solid surface hidden beneath its clouds, but the reality is far stranger. In fact, Saturn has no true surface at all. What we see from space, the beautiful golden bands and swirling storms, is simply the uppermost layer of an atmosphere that becomes denser and more extreme the deeper you go. If a spacecraft tried to descend towards Saturn, it would first pass through enormous cloud layers made primarily of ammonia ice crystals. These clouds form bright bands that wrap around the entire planet. Beneath them lies another layer composed of ammonium hydrosulfide, and deeper still are clouds of water ice. Each level is shaped by powerful winds that can reach speeds of nearly 1,800 kilometers per hour, creating some of the most violent weather systems in the solar system. As the descent continues, the atmosphere becomes thicker and hotter. Pressure rises rapidly, far beyond anything experienced on Earth. Instead of reaching solid ground, the gases gradually compress into a dense, superheated fluid. Eventually, hydrogen, the main ingredient of Saturn, transforms into a remarkable substance known as liquid metallic hydrogen. In this state, hydrogen behaves like an electrically conductive metal, flowing like an ocean deep within the planet and helping generate Saturn's enormous magnetic field. Somewhere far below, scientists believe there may be a compact core made of rock, ice, and heavy elements, but it is buried beneath tens of thousands of kilometers of crushing pressure. Yet Saturn's most recognizable feature lies far beyond its turbulent atmosphere, its magnificent ring system. From a distance, the rings appear as smooth, glowing bands encircling the planet, but up close they reveal a completely different reality. They are not solid structures at all. Instead, they are made of countless individual pieces of ice and rock, each one orbiting Saturn like a tiny moon. These fragments range in size from microscopic dust grains to massive chunks several meters across. They travel at extraordinary speeds, sometimes tens of thousands of kilometers per hour, yet remain organized in thin, flat layers that extend more than 280,000 kilometers across space. Surprisingly, despite their enormous width, most of the rings are incredibly thin, often only tens of meters thick. Scientists believe the rings likely formed when an ancient moon or comet was torn apart by Saturn's gravity millions of years ago. The debris spread into orbit and slowly arranged itself into the breathtaking structure we see today, a shimmering cosmic disk that continues to evolve, collide, and reshape itself in a delicate gravitational dance around the giant planet.